Imagine there's an island in the middle of the ocean, and on that island there's a restaurant, and it's operated and ran by one woman. And the restaurant's main appeal and its main draw is that you can eat your troubles. Whatever is bothering you, whatever is troubling you, whether it's your deepest, darkest fears, secrets, your own personal guilt, your own frustration, stress, whatever is ailing you in life, you can eat your problems with a dish that is made and custom tailored to you and your needs. Welcome back to another Manga Sutra manga review, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a supernatural josei slice of life manga called Shiosai No Majo. Shiosai No Majo is fairly new and there's only a few chapters out, so instead of doing a page by page thorough chapter analysis that we usually do for our manga reviews, I want to go with the flow and paraphrase things that happen chapter by chapter. Shiosai No Majo follows a episodic chapter setup in which each chapter has a different client and there is a different dish prepared for each client and different advice to be custom tailored to that client. Now, in the first chapter, we see it's an elderly man with shades, a hat, and a scarf. And he tells her about his job that he has to do once a year and how everyone is depending on him, everyone is relying on him. And although he loves doing what he's doing, it's a lot of pressure on him and it's beginning to wear on him. And as the chef is listening and prepping his dish, she goes outside, she grabs a fishing rod, and she prepares the fish for his trouble in the sea. And as we look at the sea, we see a lot of different species of fish that occupy the waters, and these represent other people's troubles and issues. And as she is reeling in the old man's trouble, it is a gigantic fish. And as she is prepping the fish and she has made the dish for him, he's eating it. And she begins to explain to him that his trouble is his name, that he has been living under the heavy weight and the burden of his name, and that he needs to begin to live for himself, and he needs to spend more time to himself and for himself instead of trying to live up to this big name that he has. And that maybe when that time of the year comes around, when he has to do his one job that one day, he can enjoy it. He can actually live up to that name. And we see a reindeer comes in at the end of the chapter that's supposed to be his friend, and so we kind of get the idea that this is Santa Claus. And when he's asking the restaurant owner if she wants anything around that time of the year, she says, I'm an adult, I can buy my own stuff. But then we see the sleigh take off in the distance and she's beginning to second guess whether she should have asked for something or not. In another chapter, we see a woman arrives there and she is explaining her troubles to the chef, and it is about a significant other that broke a very crucial vow or promise to her, and how they can no longer be together. And as the chef is making the dish, this one being different than the one that we see in the first chapter, as she doesn't have to fish for anything from the ocean. She preps the meal and she serves it to the client, and the client notices that it's meat. And another specific quirk of this restaurant is it's only seafood being served there. However, the chef explains that her trouble is taboo, that although her significant other broke a promise to her, she had been deceiving her significant other the entire time by pretending to be someone that she wasn't, by sacrificing a part of herself to be with this person. And the chef was explaining, although I only serve seafood here, I serve meat. Therefore, I'm breaking a taboo. Therefore, me and you are the same. And the client begins to gain new clarity on their situation. And as the client is leaving, the chef explains that if the significant other hadn't broken the promise, they would have still been together. But the chef also clarifies that even if they were together, deceiving somebody and being with someone when it means being something or someone that you aren't is more harmful and more toxic in the long run. and that although things turned out the way they turned out, it was probably for the better. And the client leaves her this fabulous cloth, and we see the client disappear, and there's just feathers, right? And the chef comments on something about feathers growing back. And one thing I liked was at the end of the chapter, we have a translator give a note about how the client is based off of this Japanese legend of a man who was in a relationship with this bird that took on the disguise of a woman. And the man was poor, but the woman, being a bird in actuality, used her feathers to create a type of garment for her significant other to sell, under the promise that the husband or the significant other would never look at her or never peek into the room as she was making the garments. And one night he got curious, and he noticed that his significant other was getting more ill and more sickly with each garment that was made from her feathers or was just made. He noticed that she was a bird, and because he broke the vow, they could no longer be together. So as you can see at this point, each chapter has a specific client with a specific trouble, but it also follows a specific theme. And interestingly enough, some chapters don't actually need clients to be served any food. Some of these troubles solve themselves in the chapters, which is very interesting to read. Um, Another one that I really liked was one where we had an astronaut, and as the chef was prepping his dish, she used a specific species of fish that had to keep swimming or else it would die. And his trouble was loss. He felt that he had to keep going, he had to keep moving. Even though he was dealing with a lot of stuff on his mind, he was still reeling from the loss of loved ones around him. He felt like he had to keep going with his mission, because if he didn't, what was the point of it all? And I love this type of storytelling. I love that there is a certain moral of a story or a theme or a lesson to be imparted with each and every chapter. And would I recommend this to people that are watching this video? Yes. If you love episodic types of chapters in a manga, if you love mangas that have a lesson or a moral or a theme to be imparted with each chapter, then this is it for you. We have a lot of different figures in each and every chapter. We have an astronaut, which I'm pretty sure you can guess who it is once you read it. Santa Claus. We have Cinderella. We have a Japanese myth of a man and a bird. And this is, like I said, a fairly new manga. The chapters are updating very frequently, so I cannot wait to read some other new chapters as they come out. I would love to have your thoughts on the manga if you give it a read, but I like slice of life mangas like this, and this one features that supernatural element to it. And I like the restaurant owner, aka the chef. She's very blunt about her interactions with other characters. She tells them when they're being annoying, she tells them when they're being pushy. She's very to the point, but we also see that she does have a soft side, and she is able to empathize with her clients in the moments. And another thing I really, 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 really love, and I would be very frustrated if I did not include it in this video, but at the end of each chapter, they make a recipe of the dish that she made and how you can prep it, how you can cook it, the ingredients and everything, and the name of the dish. So I think that was a very wonderful feature that the manga had as well. So if you're like a cooking aficionado or whatever, and you see this manga and you just like, damn, that looks really, really tasty. I wonder if I could make that. I mean, there's like a whole little recipe at the end of the chapter that tells you exactly what she made and like the ingredients. So you can do it too if you really have the motivation and the determination to do so. I would recommend I would recommend this manga in general. The artwork for it is phenomenal. I think where the artwork truly shines is when we're out at sea, when we're seeing just where she is, when we also see some of the clients that she brings in, and we have some of the imagery from their perspectives. But yeah, the highlight of the manga is the restaurant owner, the chef. She is what holds it all together. Her personality is what makes each and every chapter interesting. How she engages with the different clients. I would definitely recommend reading it. Um, Tell me your thoughts on it once you read it. If you want to support the channel, then definitely subscribe, like this video, and comment. But also, if you really want to take another extra step and support the channel even further, since you like manga and you like these manga reviews, membership is only 99 cents a month, so no ads for you. And you could probably get your favorite manga reviewed on this channel by being a member. So more incentive. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.